a straight through classes from 1 to 4. And we're holding it on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I want to encourage you to get your name badge and wear that as well. Try to establish really good habits. Does someone not have a name badge or not ordered one yet? You haven't? Well, one of the best places, real cheap, real fast, local company is Badge Barn. You might want to write that down. Badge Barn. I think you can get 2. Last time I looked was 2 for $20 or
14.
Is it 14 now? Well, what a deal. So I should get stock in that company because I refer so many people. But I really want to encourage you, don't be the secret agent. We have a lot of new faces. Nobody really knows everybody. So let's do that as well. Okay? So in your book, we're going to go through your book and cover a few things. So, welcome to Ignite. The main thing I want to talk to you about Ignite, it's new, it's exciting, it's a challenging way to get you completely involved with developing really, really, really good habits. Anybody here with a little experience under the belt with selling homes? Loud, let me see. Okay, so we have a few people. Rest of you, are you brand newbies? Okay, be proud, I'm brand new. Just so you know, this program is set also for agents that have had experience to reignite their business in lots of different ways. So it's a good refresher, and once you've taken the course, we are offering it right now about once a quarter or 3 times a year, right? And because of our growth, originally we had it on October schedule, but now we've moved it up to accommodate all of you because we've got some real go-getters in this group and we don't want to hold them back. So if we look at page 5, right, get your head in the game. There's a couple of questions here that we need to ask ourselves. It's important to gain what your mindset is because this business is, what, 95% between here, right? Would you not agree? Right? It's our mindset. So there's some questions down here on page 5 in my book. Is it page 5 in your book, session 1? Or is it page 7? 7. So know that your instructor has an old instructor book. So pay attention to this. So on page 7 of your book, it says get your head in the game, right? Some questions. Let's take 3 minutes and answer those questions. Go ahead and write them out right now. When you finish answering, please put your pens down so I know that the majority of you are ready to move on. So the majority of you have finished this, right? The first question, let's talk about that. What's the one thing that makes real estate agents more successful than others? Who knows? Yes,
Lead generation.
you got it. That's it. And daily. Put daily behind that answer. Lead generation daily. All the successful agents lead generate daily. So why don't all agents do this? Anybody? Yes, Nate.
Because it's hard sometimes to do it and to think it has to be like, oh, I have to go find more people when you've already found one. Let's say you have one guy that works out, then you don't really want to think about the other stuff. You want to just focus on that one person. And so sometimes you'll forget that you should still be building your business besides that.
Exactly. Anybody else? Yes. Ms. Kelsey.
I said lack of support, fear, and laziness.
A lack of what?
Lack of support, fear, or laziness.
Okay.
Or all three.
Yeah, why not? Lack of discipline, right? Maybe not skilled at lead generation, could be possibility. Maybe they don't believe it's important. I don't have to do it every day, you know? What about the last question? Is your desire to succeed more powerful than your fear from doing the one thing that will make you successful? I see a few little gentle nods. Would you not agree? Yes, right? Yes. So you already know what it takes. So now all we do is have to empower you to make you succeed, right? So when we talk about the reason why we do that is to really talk about getting your head in the game. It's really about mindset. And I wish I could get rid of that little thing.
Yeah, no. Move it over.
I think I can't move it over. Here we go. Thank you. So you choose Keller Williams as a vehicle to reach your goals. Ignite helps you build the momentum to get you there fast. And the reason why we're doing that is for you to develop good habits, right? So I'm just having a little technical difficulty here today. Okay, so before we get to that, let's talk about you're in the business. So here's the secret sauce, lead generation. That's the secret sauce. No magic bullet, right? It's lead generation. You are in the business of sales, right? You can call yourself a consultant, right? I'm a real estate consultant, whatever. But basically, you're in sales, right? And really, your livelihood depends on the number of homes you sell and help people to move into. Bottom line, that's it. So Gary Keller says two things. You're actually in two types of businesses. Number one, the business of lead generation. Number two, the business of real estate. So that's his philosophy with regards to this. Now you may think lead generation is, whatever that looks like for you, making phone calls, door knocking, open houses. There's a lot of different vehicles you can use. The main thing when you're thinking about door knocking, face-to-face, or voice-to-voice, a lot of you think that, and it's very common, a lot of agents think, well, I'm going to be bothering people. I don't want to bother people. Really what you need to adopt that you have an attitude of contribution. You have something to offer, right? What might that be? What can you offer? What would be something of contribution?
Your
Here.
experience.
Your experience, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, Chris.
Market information.
Market information, pertinent, up-to-date market information. What else? Yes.
Fierce negotiation skills.
There you go. You offer fierce negotiation skills, right? Which the average person, did you borrow that from somebody?
No, I just came up with it.
That's usually what I say. Anyway, so you want to think in terms of coming from a place of contribution. You're not bothering people. Think in terms of how many Girl Scout troops have you helped? They come knocking on your door, or the mother or father calls you up and says, little Susie or Bonnie or whoever selling cookies, would you contribute? Is that bothering you? No, no. So in exchange for you giving money, you get the cookies, right? You've got to think in terms of the same thing. You're offering cookies, right? There are Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts out there handling cookies. So adopting a mindset that allows you to be direct and to the point and interactive with others is important. You want to focus on being of service, of being of contribution, right? So you want to take every opportunity to educate people in your personal, in your professional, in your social life, what you do. Are you the secret agent? Do people know what you're doing? Right? Don't be the secret agent, right? You want to be a reminder to people that you're in the business constantly and that in your network you can get many, many referrals, right? Just because your friend's not ready to sell or buy, they probably know somebody. How many people on average does one person know in their little life? Does anybody have any idea?
500.
Not that many. Any other guess?
300.
It's 250 on average. One person knows 250 people, work, social life, personal, family, blah, blah, blah. So think about one person and all the opportunities you have with that one person. Even though they may not be ready, they probably know somebody that does, or somebody's right up underneath their nose, okay? So now we're going to talk about the 6 personal perspectives. And this really is based on the 3 attributes that Gary Keller found out when he really wanted to find out from high achievers, what is it that makes you successful? And he found out there's 3 key components: their mindset, their attitudes, and their approach to life. That is the main 3 things that separates them from other people to achieve at a very high level. And it makes sense because this is a lot about mindset. So let's talk about mastery. Let's talk about self-mastery. What is self-mastery? Anybody know? How would you describe self-mastery? What's self-mastery? Nobody knows?
Mastering yourself.
Self-mastery is mastering yourself. So basically, you are in possession of your own skills, your own habits, your own knowledge. You have mastered being you, right? So when we talk about that, self-mastery involves being committed, does it not? Right? So in order to be being committed to self-mastery, number 1, you must know your goals. You must write down your goals. You must write down your goals. You must know your strengths and what your weaknesses are. You must know how to work with both your strengths and your weaknesses. So in order to be self-mastery, you must know yourself, right? So throughout Ignite, you're going to be acquiring all kinds of skills and developing habits to be successful to move you forward into self-mastery. So then we have what's called the 80-20 principle. Anybody know about that? It applies to every part of your life. Anybody know? Yes, Scott.
If you focus on 80% of your work can come from 20% of your focus, or 80% of your results come from 20% of the work and focus you put in.
There you go. So the 80-20 principle. 20% of real focused activity on what's important in your business is going to give you 80% of your results. 20%. That even works like, ladies, if you go in your closet, how much of your clothes do you wear? About 20%. Wouldn't you say? You can apply it to various things, but in real estate, it's real important, not just in real estate, it really in almost any type of job. You look at your top 20 most actions that are going to lead to 80% of your results, right? Then we have E to P. E to P, what does that stand for? Moving from entrepreneurial to more purposeful. Moving from entrepreneurial to being more purposeful. So high achievers are always looking for the most purposeful way, and they do this through their natural behavior, really. So you can attain a certain level of success with your natural gifts. Maybe some of you have a good gift gab and you know you could sell a farmer dirt, right? You know you could do that. But unless you really push yourself further, you're going to hit a ceiling of success, right? You've got to develop your skill set. And Ignite is really designed to help you start your business, to grow your business, and move you from entrepreneurial to purposeful. So being a learning-based individual should be part of your action plan. A learning-based individual is someone who has made the commitment, not the decision, but the commitment to use effective learning as the foundation piece to their action plan in life. So training and education absolutely is a big part of it, to move you forward to getting your goals, succeed at a high level. So we want you to know Ignite is just the start for you as a learning-based individual, and we're going to be providing you, as Keller Williams, with many opportunities. Now we talk about removing limiting beliefs. So high achievers always they recognize a limiting belief, and they push through that. They know that limiting beliefs do what? They hold us back, right? They definitely hold us back. So in order to develop at a very high level, you'll need to clear your mind of limiting beliefs. For example, on page probably 11 in your books, or if you don't mind me looking on. Okay, turn the page. So on page 12, there we go. On page 12 of your book, there's some questions in there, aren't there?
Yes.
Right? So ask yourself if you have any of these limiting beliefs. I see it all the time in my coaching. The first one, I have to be an expert. I got to know everything before I begin my business. I can't start until I learn everything. Limiting belief, don't you think? But many of you carry that around with you secretly. I don't know enough, so I'm not gonna go out and real estate. I'm gonna learn it all first, then I'm gonna do real estate. We want you to earn while you learn, right? I certainly did, and I didn't have all these wonderful tools and classes when I first started. Another limiting belief is I can't be successful yet because I need to invest a whole lot of money to kickstart my real estate career. Any of you have that thought? Yeah, I run into that too. I'm going to have so much money to kickstart. Another very common limiting belief is because I'm in the business, people will know, business will come naturally to me. So I really don't have to devote 2 to 3 hours of lead generation every day. Yeah, you'll get some business by just association only, but that's not going to carry your business. Again, here at Keller Williams, we're not looking to make you an agent. We're looking to build you as business owners, a wholly different mindset than an agent that just learns how to fill out contracts, put up signs, market, that kind of a thing. But when you start thinking as a business owner, you're going to have, it's going to open up your mind. You're going to look at the world a lot differently. And if you've ever owned a business before, quite a few of you had a business yourself? Awesome. So it is a different mindset. So in those questions below on page, which page is that?
12.
12. Let's take about 2 minutes and fill that out. How would you redirect these negative thoughts into positive ones? Okay. Why are we doing this exercise? Why are we doing it, Edward?
You get it on paper, you can look at it, you can see where your strengths and weaknesses lie, and you can refer back to it in times of, say, struggle or weakness to see what you wrote down. Try to readjust your thinking or attitude.
This is an exercise. When you have a negative thought, you can't just say can't. You got to replace it. You got to flip it. You got to flip the script, right? You got to flip the script, make it into something positive. Who wants to share with number one? Anybody? What did they write down? What did you guys write down for number one? Jonathan.
I will learn along the way, and I have a great team to support me.
Okay, so what was the question? Let's try that again. What was the limiting belief question?
I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not valid yet.
Exactly. And you're saying what?
I will learn along the way, and I have a great team to support me.
Wonderful. Anybody have something different that they want to share or similar? All right. Oh, yes. I can't see your name.
Because I don't have one.
You don't have one?
Erin, well, there it is.
Okay. And you are, I'm sorry?
Erin now.
Hi, Erin. So, what did you put down, Erin?
I do a lot of self-motivating books and tapes to kind of help when I'm feeling.
But how would you answer this question? What did you write down?
I don't know. I guess I didn't know what the question was because that's what I wrote down.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I didn't make it clear on my part.
No, I'm just probably not hearing you. That's fine.
Yes, sir.
Mine was similar, but I just said learn as you go, similar to his, but from experience, like actually doing it. It's hands-on, you know.
Here's a thought. You just need to be a professional, not an expert. How about that idea? Just be professional, not an expert. Expertise comes from what? Doing and doing and doing. That's where the expertise comes from, right? So this training will best prepare me for success, right? In real estate, in my business, right? All right, number 2, I can't be successful yet. I will need to invest a lot of money to kickstart my real estate career. Who want to share what they wrote down?
Your question is different than ours.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What is yours? I got the old book, and I hope you don't have the old book.
Ours says, I don't think I can achieve a profit goal that will fund my life this year.
Okay. What did you write down for an answer on that?
The failure rate of 90% is daunting, and no funding as of yet. I've been in the market for a while, and the investments haven't turned on my ROI. And seeing the bleed out rate, I'm a numbers man. Just seeing the bleed out rate, and with KW agents as well as other competitors. That's a daunting number to overcome. With the market the way it is, lack of inventory, things of that nature. Just factoring all the numbers into it, that's a bit daunting.
So what is your response? Excuse me.
My response is consideration, reapply myself, and press through.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? Yes, Gary.
So I can achieve a profit goal that will more than fund my life this year.
I love it. There you go. Flip the script. Love it. Your third question, what is it? Someone read it for me. Rebecca, would you read it for me?
Because I'm in the business will come to me naturally. I don't need to devote 3 hours every day to lead generation.
So what did you write down to counter that negative limiting belief?
So I will just tell myself to stop and then grab the flyers and get out of the door.
I love your attitude, Rebecca. Just stop thinking that way, grab the flyers, and out the door I'm going. That works for me. That works for me. What about those of you who think I need a lot of money to kickstart my career? How would you rewrite that limiting belief? Yes, Scott.
I just put, you don't have to have a lot of money to start. You can door knock and hand out business cards are cheap. Just go hand out business cards and talk to people.
There you go. Leads don't have to cost a lot of money. Yes, are there agents that pay for leads? God bless them, yes. But they don't have to cost. Grabbing a flyer and knocking on a door or picking up the phone doesn't have to cost money, right? So, okay, I think, let's see, what's the other piece? Oh, be accountable. Accountability is first and foremost an attitude and an approach to your whole entire life. So an accountable person says to themselves, everything in my life is a result because of my choices and my decisions. It's my life. We're all sovereign. All of us are sovereign. So what you decide, some people have the victim attitude. Oh my God, everything's happening to me. That person's causing my life misery. Well, yes, they can't do that, but only as much as you allow, right? So accountability, I want you guys to know it's a tool for changing results in your life in the areas that matter the most. Accountability, some people just go, oh, I don't want to be held accountable. I want you to think of accountability as not a stick, it's a support system. We cannot hold ourselves accountable. We're the worst. How many of you ladies, gone on a diet and said, I'm not going to have any sugar all day, and then all of a sudden something tasty and sweet and pretty winks at you, and don't you go, it's okay. You don't that, right? Guys, I'm sure maybe you go to the gym and say, oh, I'm not going to do 50 reps of this. I'll just do 10. And I'm good. I'm here at the gym, right? So you've got to think about our own accountability. There's no way we can keep ourselves accountable. We need somebody else to help us support us, right? So I'm going to encourage you guys to look around the room, and we're going to start working in partnerships and groups this year, as opposed as single. Because you know we're all about the team. So I want you to start looking around, and it's your choice who you'd like to partner up, group with, because you're going to hold each other accountable, right? What better way than to do it that way? So let's talk about
That's their copy.
who's.
That's their question, Ron. Just in case you had an old one, you wanted a new one, I want you to actually
Oh, thank you, Paul. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. I was thrown. Okay, thank you. So for those of you who want to get into the 6 personal perspectives a little deeper, go to mykw.kw.com, and what you can do is look for it. There's a whole different videos on the 6 perspectives that you can read on your own or watch on your own, which are actually absolutely fantastic. Okay? So before we get to that, we'll go back to this. So on the next page, getting the most out of this experience. You have that? We have what you are, what we look at you as cappers in training. Really, cappers in training. We have a lot of cappers here. You guys know what it takes to be a capper?
26,000.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's get that real clear right now. That number's going all over. So
29.6.
it's 29. So for those of you who were in my orientation, we did the Career Growth Initiative, right? So the cap, the company dollar cap is 26,000. So just so you're clear, you need to know. You need to know. Write it down if you don't. It's 26,000. Then your royalty cap is 3,000, right? So once you've paid the company dollar and so forth, you then get 100% of your commission. Is there anybody who hasn't filled this out? Thank you for doing that. Anybody who's not filled this out? You have not? You have not. 3 more. Thank you. So let's do this right now. For those of you who have not, this is to help, a worksheet to help you go. I'd like to have it when you're finished with it by end of today at some point. Would be awesome. Anybody else? 2 more? 3 more? We're all good? Okay. You need one of these? Okay. So for those of you who are in my new agent orientation, we all did this together, right? So the thing that we need to know is with regards to you're a capper in training. So you've got to pay your company dollar, 26,000, royalty 3,000. How much is that in sales volume?
It's about 5 million.
It's 5.2 million in sales volume. Sales volume. You guys know the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Sales volume. So if you are selling higher price homes, you don't have to close as many, right? If you're doing a lot of condos at lower price homes, you're going to have to do more, right? Again, trying to get you to think as business owners, right? So with regards to Ignite, on your next page, you've got getting the most out of this experience. We have 3 different types of categories I see in my training classes every day. I don't say anything, but I notice, right? So we've got the prisoner, we got the vacationer, and then we have the explorer. Who would read for me the prisoner? Any volunteer? Sure, go ahead, Nathan. Just read the whole thing. What is a prisoner?
Alrighty, the prisoner has to be there, doesn't want to be there, and doesn't know why they're there. They don't engage, they spend their class time catching up on their emails, they escape by spending time in the hall on their phone, they hold on to limiting beliefs, they multitask on their computer by working on side projects, and they pick fights with the trainer and other participants if they don't agree.
Well, I certainly have seen a few of those in my day, right? You probably noticed them too. How about the vacationer? Who's going to read the vacationer for me? Jonathan.
A day in training is better than a day on the job. Spends as much time chatting as listening. They're there to have fun, distracts the class with irrelevant comments, returns late from break and lunch, not purposeful in their learning goals. OMG, spends the day on their smartphone, texting and checking Facebook. isn't paying attention.
And what about the explorer? Who would be kind enough to, Edward?
Excited and curious about new knowledge, skills, and tools they will discover in class, listens attentively, then participates fully in discussions and exercises, asks meaningful questions, and contributes compelling ahas, arrives to class on time and returns promptly from breaks, adopts a posture of acceptance, takes notes on their manual for future reference, respects to the different learning styles and opinions of others.
So hopefully I've got all explorers in my camp today. So I'm hoping that's the situation. Let's talk a little bit about ground rules for Ignite. Ignite. Again, I'm going to ask you to please get your badges, start wearing your badges. Definitely need to have this with you each time that you come. And then arrive to class on time. Because there's a saying in bold, how you show up here is how you show up out there. So how you show up in here, I can only imagine when you come up late for your come to your trainings and so forth, you're probably showing up late to your appointments out there. I have no other measuring tool, right? You want to be fully present, turn your laptops, your tablets, your phones off. Is what you want to do. Another ground rule, I want you to participate. You'll get the most out of this from participating. You really will gain a lot more. I want you to respect.
Big brother told me.
Yay! Boy, I must rate around here. Love it. Thank you very much. So I want you all to have respect for the different learning styles and opinions of others. Some people catch on very quickly, some a little slower, right? So just be respectful of other people's opinions. I want you to reach out, help each other to learn. We're going to work together as a group because that is our culture here. And consider everything we discuss totally confidential. Commit to implementing at least one thing you learn, and most of all, my biggest motto, have fun. This can be a really fun career. And that's all you need to do. The other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need to bring note cards. Blank note cards. Right? Did any of you do that? Thank you for writing that down. Today I got you covered. I brought some blank note cards. But you'll need to bring blank note cards each time you come. You'll need to bring your database, whatever form that is. We're going to be making calls in class every time to get into the habit, right? So go to Big Lots, go someplace cheap, get blank note cards. Now this is what I'd like to suggest. It's not part of the program, but I've been doing it in the past, and the featured agents I just pulled over. When the class finishes, and I got to remind the other mentors, write a note of thanks to the guest speaker or the guest agent. They're doing it on their own time. They don't have to be here. So if you write a note thanking them or what you learned, or it doesn't have to be complicated, give it to me or give it to whoever is in front of the class at the end of the day, and make sure that they'll make sure that I get it to the featured agent. They eat that up as soon as I started that. We all like to be appreciated, right? Particularly when we're volunteering our time, right? Okay. Any questions? So most of these ground rules come from bold. How many of you have taken bold? Oh, really? Just us, huh? Okay. All right. So the ground rules come from bold. So these are very familiar. We're going to talk about action revealed. I've already talked about the ground rules. So the thing that you need to know is you must, okay, let me start again. You're going to have a mission on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So you're given a mission every time you're in class. For you real go-getters, start today. Don't wait till Tuesday because that's the way it's structured, but go for it today. You're going to be given certain missions. right? And it's essential that you complete all the steps in your missions so that it sets you up for success. So on page, thank you, page 15. You didn't get your books till now, but I'm going to tell you today, you're going to start with, you see that little gather your supplies? It's got little check boxes there. It says KW email address. Do you guys all have that? Okay, so you can check that off. What else is that? I don't have my glasses. Calendar. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So basically, you want to check out your Ignite Online, kwconnect.com. Is there anyone not familiar how to get to KW Connect? You don't know how to, Ada? After class, you and me. Okay? I'll show you. It's real easy. Anybody else that doesn't know how to get to KW Connect, that is your biggest resource. Keller Williams is throwing everything into KW Connect for the learning base. So know that. And then you want to watch and read. You've got some videos here, right? They've got on here the 6 perspectives. And then, as you can see down here, you've already done your Market Center orientation, your tech tour. You've done your productivity coaching orientation, New Agents with Me. And then we have our career growth initiative calls on Monday. And we have a huddle right afterwards. So this is part of your homework. And make sure, let me make sure, thank you, Gary. Make sure that you catch up. I'm going to give you a little sense. If you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, you'll get behind and you'll get discouraged real fast. It's really not a lot. Just stay on task, right? Start the good habits, right? Okay. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk about, as a student or an agent, capper and training of Ignite, you're expected to complete and declare your big why. Does everybody know the big why in their lives? Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? Mine's plain and simple. I have no backup. I have no other income. If I don't sell homes, I don't eat, and I can't pay my bills. I think that's a big enough why. Does anybody else have a big why? Yes, Jonathan.
No, I don't want to share it, but I have a big one.
Oh, you do have, okay. Is there anybody who wants to share their big why? Yes.
I was in the hair business 28 years and my hand went numb on me. So I'm left-handed, I have a left numb hand. So it kind of pushed me out of what I knew into the real estate industry. My sister and brother-in-law had been in the business for 23 years, so they took me under the wing.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. Does anybody else have a big why? No? I've heard people say, I want to fund a big life. I want a big life. I hear you. Well, what? Yeah. Yep. I want a big life. Right?
Yeah, I just want to be able to enjoy the most of my life as soon as possible.
Oh, so you're not enjoying it so far? It hasn't been all that great?
No financial constraints, no other obligations, retirement early.
Cool.
There you go.
All right. Anybody else want to share their big why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you here? Gary.
To make this world a better place and to provide for my current and future family in a way that
I like that. To make this world a better place and to provide for
my family,
family
yeah, and like the people around me.
and people around you. That's lovely. Some people they want to start a school in another country, or some people they just want to buy a big house, or they want to get investment properties and become an investor. So you need to know your big why. Why are you here, right? So you need to set your monetary goal. That's why we do the CGI, the Career Growth Initiative. You must set it, right? You must get in there. Be accountable to your big why. Tell somebody, this is my dream, or this is my goal. Keep me accountable. You want to use influencing sales language. Totally. Okay? Now, let's talk about the monetary goal. So on page, it says monetary goals. Okay. So on a couple of pages further,
23.
it says make it happen for skills. What page is that, please?
18.
I'm sorry?
18.
18. Page 18, if you would, please. I'm 2 pages behind. Here's your questions. What is your job? What's your job? Lead generation. Sales. That's simple. Lead generation. Sales. Write that down. Who's your customer? Everybody is your customer. And if you don't lead generate, no one is your customer, right? What is your product? Your skills, your expertise, right? Your knowledge. Delivering a stellar experience for the customer. I often say your product is your home, the houses you're selling. How can you sell a product if you don't know the market, right? So today, you've learned 4 new skills. Knowing your big why, knowing your monetary goal. Now we're going to talk about a few more things. When I talk about, is there anybody struggling with their big whys? Let's be very honest. Anybody struggling with their big whys? No? Well, then I don't need to go into that. The main thing is that you want to have a passion for your big why. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're just going through the motions, right? And life's not so fun. So anyone can achieve goals in this course, but not everybody will, is the bottom line, unfortunately. So it requires discipline, requires you to follow the models, systems, and following a schedule every day, right? You want to make sure what you're doing today is going to be reflected out there in the future, right? In the terms of the paycheck. So top agents can articulate their big why all the time, all the time. A big why is what keeps them from getting bored. Knowing your big why will keep you from getting distracted or tired. So your financial success basically is tied directly to your efforts. You don't have a salary, right? So for a future, for your big future, on page 20, right? Can I have a volunteer to read the bullets below on page 20? No?
Already did.
Did we do those? On page 20?
Big future.
Those little dots on the side, those bullet points?
Sure.
Would anyone read that for me? Gary?
Yeah.
Nice and loud, please.
All right. Your business is thriving and your life is everything you've dreamed of.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's start. Write down the date 12 months from now. So put in the date right now. Today's date, right at the top. Now imagine the date is today. Go, Gary.
Got it. Your customers rave about the experience and value you provide and think of you when they have a real estate need. Your family and friends are so proud of your success and are consistently referring business your way. You are helping others live the dream of owning a home because you are focused on helping them get what they desire. You are building a foundation of momentum for your entire career and gaining relationships and experiences and the income you desire. You are the top agent in your market center, or rookie of the year if you're new. You're poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you take care of the 20% that grows your business. You are on the path to
Building a career worth having, a business worth owning, and a life worth living. That is our model, right? Yes, Jonathan.
I'm just going to change that. You're the top agent in your market center or rookie of the year. I'm going to change that forward to an and.
You go right ahead with your bad stuff. That's just fine with me. I like that. Now, on the following page, your turn, your big why. This is really a skills mastery activity, and it's very important that you do write down the answers to these questions. What is or was your driving motivation? What's your driving motivation or goal for a career in real estate? Write that down. And then go through the following questions. This is important for you to know. When you finish with that page, turn it over and then ask the questions on the following page, please. I'll finish. The last two questions are really important. I hope you do take time to break it out so you're clear. Clarity is power, right? Is there anyone brave enough to share any ahas with this particular exercise? No ahas? Yes, Miss Kelsey.
Am I saying my big why or my ahas?
Either one that you're comfortable with, your big why or your aha.
My ahas are that I'm the only thing that could possibly get in the way of my success, and that failure is not an option for me. So.
I like that. I like that. Anybody else brave enough to share? No? Yes. Justin.
You can prevent yourself from relapsing on your big why by visualizing yourself at the point of life that you desire.
I like that. Visualization is a very powerful tool. Yes. Gary, did you want to share?
I'll share my aha,
Okay.
which was, this is about us and our big why, but I feel like when you make it about others, like the opportunities are limitless.
You make it about others.
Yeah.
Can you clarify when you make it about others? What do you mean by that?
So there's always opportunities for growth, and by focusing on your big why, I feel like the ripple effect is actually going to influence others. So I feel like if you make it about others, there's really no limit to what you can put down for these answers.
Okay. I like it. Anyone else? Yes, Jonathan.
I'll share my big why. I once heard a story that at the end of your life, you look into a mirror, or like when you're closing your eyes or anything, that you look into a mirror and you meet the person that you would have been if you had reached your full potential. And so at the end of my life, I'd like to be able to see myself. And so my big why is to reach my full potential, to do my best and be my best, and to be great.
I like that. There's general goals and there's specific goals. And the more specific we get, the more clarity we have. And in bold, as we say, clarity is power. So you said to be the best in life, right?
To be the best that I can, yeah.
To be the best
to do my best and to be my best.
Okay. What do you want to be the best at?
So I actually have to define here, to say to be great. So I put, what is greatness? I go, someone who tries to be their best every day, someone who is pursuing and accomplishing all of their personal life goals, someone with a big and loving family, a successful career, and someone who is an influencer and contributor to the positive growth of thousands of others.
You really took that to a whole other level. I love it.
Yeah, it goes on.
There's only one catchphrase in there that I'm going to correct. We don't use try. In bold, you learn you do or you don't. Try is not an option. We don't hope for things. We plan for things. Hope is not a plan, right? So the more clear you are, if you want to be the best that you can be, the best of what? The more specific you get, the more clarity you'll get. And then you'll know, you'll be very much more clear about your actions. You follow where I'm going with this? If I'm going to be the best real estate agent or best real estate professional I can be, that's my goal. And then I can be very specific. Well, what's my definition of success? Each one of you have a different idea about what that looks like for you. So we do this mastery, this skill mastery activity so that you get real clear about your goals. Gary Keller says, think big, act bold, live large. What a great mantra. Think bold. Think big, act bold, live large. So I want you to really think about what motivates you to do this business. Because there's going to be some days you're not going to feel really motivated, right? We all have those days. We're all human. So your big why, again, I just want to say it can be huge, like maybe you want to contribute to curing cancer or AIDS or something like that. Or it could be something more selfish. I want to own a villa in Tuscany one day. It doesn't matter as long as you're clear about what your big why is. Now let's move into your monetary goal, right? We're going to talk about what is your monetary goal. Write down your annual monetary goal on page 23, I'm guessing. Write it right there in that box. What is your monetary goal? Next 12 months, starting today, how much do you want to make? How much do you want to earn? Write it down. You don't have to share it. Yes, Scott.
Net or gross?
Huh?
Is it net or gross? Or is it
You can do whatever way you want to do it. If you want to put it in net terms, go ahead. If you want to put it in gross terms, go ahead, because we're going to dig deep into that, right? What is your goal? Everybody got that down? That's why we're using the CGI, the Career Growth Initiative. We'll get into that a little bit more. But on your books, in your books, you've got an example on page 23 where it says, what does it take to achieve your goal, okay? So here they have the average sales price is $200,000, the average commission rate that you would receive is 3%, and what the average commission net GCI, not to be confused with CGI, we're talking GCI, gross commission income, right? So is there anybody who doesn't know about GCI? You don't know, Anna? GCI stands for your gross commission income. That would be the check you originally get cut. That comes from escrow. After you close the deal, that's your GCI. You're contributing to your gross commission income, right? Now, if you turn the page, we've got a little example here. Your commission. We're going to calculate the average commission. What's your average sales price? Do you know what your average sales price is? Oh, and back to the monetary goal. For those of you who are sole proprietors, owners of your own business, you shouldn't have less than $100,000 down if you're full-time in. That's easy peasy to earn gross $100,000. Easy peasy. If you've got less and you don't value what you're in and what you're setting yourself up for. So if you put down less than $100,000, go back a raise and put in at least $100,000, because all of you could easily make that. Easily, very easily. So let's look at know your commission. What's your average sales price? You guys know? You do, Justin? What's your average sales price in the area you're going into?
$1.2 million.
$1.2 million, so break that down. Do you know your average sales price, Edward?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put that down. Do you know? If you don't know, the average sales price in the inland corridor is $650 right now. We've slid down prices a little bit down. We're looking at about $650 right now, right? So the average commission rate to you, what do you think it's going to be? 2.5? If you're the buyer particularly, maybe if you're the seller's agent, a bit more, right? So put down 2.5. So what's your average commission? Someone with a calculator, tell me. How many of you are using the 650 example? Most of you? Okay, so what would be 2.5% of 650? 2.5% of 650.
16,250.
16,250. So that is going to be your GCI, right? For those of you who have a higher, then just do the math. What's your average commission going to be? You need to know. So now we got to factor in the market center fees, right? They give an example here, which are capped GCI times 30%, capped at 20%. That's your market. Well, market center caps vary, right? Right? But the royalty does not. So our market center cap is at what amount? 26,000. So you want to put that down, right? Your royalties at 6%. Tapped at 3,000, right? You need to know what your bottom line is going to be. I'm trying to show you as business owners, as cappers in training, what's your bottom line? So if you turn to the next page, we're looking at how many transactions is it going to take to reach my goal, right? So if you got in this example, it's 100,000 annual income goal, right? They show that the market center cap is 23,000. Then they take the annual net GCI goal, and then they add that to the market center cap. Then they come up with 123. Then they show the average commission per transaction here at 6,000. Now they figured out how they have to do 21 units or closings at that amount in order to get an income of $100,000, right?
What is GCI A plus B?
Hmm?
What is GCI A plus B?
Well, if you turn the next page, Gary, in the blanks, here's your personal income goal. What's your annual net? That's after taxes. Your net gross commission income. Write that down.
Our goal for the net?
Your annual net GCI. That should be on page 26. Page 26, I believe, in your books. 23, excuse me. Page 23. Fill in the blanks. Your annual net GCI goal. What's the market center cap? 26 plus 3 is 29,000, right? Then you're going to take A for letter C. You're going to add A and B. Got it? Now you figured out what your average commission per transaction is going to be. Plug it in there at D. So now you're going to do the division to find out your annual transaction goal.
Excuse me, what was the last step? I missed that.
You see, it's a division. You take C divided by D.
Oh, okay.
Everybody on page?
We don't include like business expenses, or I know we did the CGI, your training.
No, this is just real basic. Just basic. I know I got a little more deeper with you, right? So now calculate how many transactions you're going to need each. Let's just put down for the year. How many transactions do you have to do per year? Anybody? Scott, do you know?
14.
You got to do 14. Richard, how many do you have to do in a year to reach your goal? You have to do 11.
Get started.
Where are you, honey? Average commission? Okay. You and I are going to have a meeting afterwards, Ada. Okay, person one-on-one time. Okay? Anybody else having trouble? Got it all figured out? Nathan, how many transactions do you have to do?
17.
Okay, Rebecca, how many for you? How many?
8.
You're going to do 8. Riella, how many transactions do you have to do in 1 year? So now figure out how many you got to do a month. How many got to do a month? And write it in. Don't look at my pretty face. Write it in that little thing. It says number 2, calculate how many transactions you'll need each month. Anybody having problems with that? Some of you are going to come up with percentages, right? Like 1.5 or something like that. Anybody having trouble besides Ada, my special student today? Anybody? You're all good? It's real important. You gotta know your goals, right? You should write that as a visual reminder somewhere for you. I certainly do. You gotta look at it every day. What's my goal? It's right there, usually by my computer. So put it somewhere. If it's on your phone, put it on your phone. Remind yourself of your goals. These are tips that the big agents do. They look at their goals every day. It's in their face every day. Put it on your face page. Put it on your desktop. Put your goals somewhere where you've got to look at it every day, and it's looking right back at you. Does that make sense? Right? Okay. So, anybody get any ahas about that? No?
I did.
You did? What did you find out, Michaela?
Honestly, just that it's less houses a year than I expected to reach the goal.
Now, that's in the ideal if you're selling at that point, right? So if you are let's say your goal is your average marketplace might be $1 million home, right? So I got to sell one. My goal, I got to sell one every month, $1 million home. But if I end up over here selling a house for $500,000, ooh, I got to make up. You see how that keeps you on track? So that you're real clear about reaching your goal, because nothing makes me happier than see you guys reach your goal. Really does. Okay, let's talk about lead generation. For every day you don't lead generate, 90 days later you can expect no money. Believe me, this rule of thumb is so true. It is absolutely true. So right now you're almost looking at Christmas. You guys gonna have a great Christmas? Yeah. I certainly want to line you up for a good Christmas, a juicy Christmas, right? So what you do today, so if you don't lead generate today, you put yourself 90 days back. Totally. I have tested it out. It's true, right? So let's talk about your journey to your monetary goal. Okay, let's talk about that journey. Again, on page 27, you've got here, if real estate was a factory, would you know how long it would take to make a widget? So basically, I just want to show you the importance of doing what needs to be done in order for it to be done, really. And so providing you estimates of your time. Really. There's only, really, when you think about it, only 5 things you have to do daily. What's that? Lead generate. Have discussions about real estate. Let people know you're in the business. Offer up your services. What else do you need to do? Huh? Well, when you lead generate, you're not always necessarily, they may give you a contact information, but what do you need to do? Follow up. Follow up. That's where the money is. 75% of all the money is in follow up. How many times does the average person follow up with somebody? 3 times. A call, an email, a text. That's it. How many times does it take on average for somebody to respond to your follow-up? 7, 8 times. And I can be a witness to that. Did an open house, followed up, gave them a nice little thank you coming by video. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be in touch. Next day I call. Leave a message. No answer. Next day I send an email. No response. Next day I call. No response. Next day I send a text. No response. Next day I send another email. No response. I'm going to call them until they say, stop. Don't call me no more. Now what do I have? After 9 attempts, 8 attempts, you know what? We really want to meet with you. And I said, that's interesting. And when I got them into a buyer's consultation, why with me? You're the only one that followed through on what you said you want to do. We are such a flaky group of real estate professionals, and unfortunate. Unfortunate. Because your reputation is everything in this business. It really is. So lead follow-up. So we've got lead generation, lead follow-up, then what? What else is real important you do? You want to convert your leads into what? An appointment. Write this down. Write it down. If you don't know it, you should know it by heart. Your top job every day, lead generate, follow up, convert it into an appointment, right? Then what? Go on the appointment and close the deal. Your fifth thing, what do you think that might be? I lost track. Okay, lead follow up. I'm sorry, lead generate, lead follow up, convert them into an appointment. Huh? Get them into a contract. And what's the fifth thing? Kelsey.
Close.
Referrals. Scripts. That's your skill set. Scripts. Knowing what to say. The dialogues. Right?
That's the last one.
That's the last one. That's all you got to do every day. Isn't that a simple, easy peasy life? Good grief. And here we live here in sunny San Diego, and I listen to my friends in Chicago that are agents. They only have this amount of time to sell homes. And they better sell fast. You can lead generate at the pool with a laptop under the sun. I don't care how you do it, just do it. Have fun with it, right? So you've got to do that. Did you have a question, Scott? Oh, sorry. Okay. So how long on average do you think it takes a buyer or seller to sign a contract for sale or a listing? Once you got the appointment or you've got the lead, how long do you think it takes? Let's say you just have the lead.
2 to 3 weeks.
6 months or a year.
All of you are right. It depends on how long you want to nurture that lead. Really. Some agents don't deal with leads unless they're ready to, do business within the next 30 days. To them, the lead is not of high quality. Some, they'll nurture that lead for a year, whatever, right? So really what you need to know is, depending on how much time you put into lead generation every day and how many appointments you go on is going to really determine how you get paid. Bottom line. How long does it take for a transaction from beginning opening escrow to close does it normally take? How much?
90?
No.
30.
It can be anywhere from 30 to 45 days on average in our market. Now, are there exceptions? You betcha. I've done closings in 2 weeks. Kill me.
Okay, sure.
Kill me. So I slit my wrist 2 weeks. But, and sometimes I've had them take as long as 60 days in escrow. And we're so tired of each other, that partnership, that seller's so tired of hearing and seeing me. And I'm tired of them too. We just want the same thing. Let's get this house closed. So just so that you know that. And so how quickly do you want to get paid? So what you do today, again, I can't emphasize enough the 90-day rule. Right? Does that make sense?
Good.
Good? Okay. Let's talk about your database of contacts. How many do you have in your database? How many contacts? Anybody know? You don't know how many contacts you have?
I have 250 right now.
You got 250? Good, pretty solid. I love it. You don't know your numbers? How can you do business? Excuse me? Do you have a thing in your phone that tells you how many contacts you got?
400.
Let's do a quick check. How many contacts do you have?
406.
You got 406. You guys know how to find it? Does anybody know how to tell them how to find it? I know. How many contacts do you have?
Yeah.
You don't know?
Oh, like 500.
You got like 500. You've got an iPhone.
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
Oh, no, I just guesstimated.
Oh, you guesstimated. Guesstimating and knowing is different. Richard knows he's got 406.
Are these people we've contacted and we've gotten all their information from everything, or just we know?
How many people got your phone?
Oh.
Oh, okay. You got 1,500 in your phone?
My phone, like a number, or like just I know them.
She said to scroll to the
What's the
bottom.
contact? This is a good question. What is the contact? What's the contact?
People that you've actually called and talked to, you contacted them.
You've had some kind of dialogue in some form or the other, right?
Okay.
They're in your phone, right?
Yes.
If you needed to contact them, you could, right? You either have an email address or phone number, right? That's a contact, right? So how many do you have in your database? Do you know, Justin?
I have 282 in my phone. I have probably another 300 emails. So around almost 600.
Okay,
And a lot on Facebook, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
On Facebook, do you have their phone number and email address?
Well, Facebook is a communication avenue in itself. So,
It is, but that's different.
yeah.
You can't pick up the phone and call them, or you can't shoot them an email. Yes, you could do
Instant
messaging.
Messenger, yeah. on
You
Facebook.
could. I don't consider them contacts.
No.
I don't.
Okay. Facebook.
I don't consider, there's a lot of people on my Facebook I don't even know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know how to pick up the phone and say, hey, you're a Facebook friend of mine.
Is that a script?
Good one.
I'll
Know
call
your
the
numbers,
phone.
people. How many contacts do you have? Write that down. That's a little assignment. I want you to know how many contacts you have. Write it down. I can't help you unless you know your numbers. If you give me guesstimates, then we're just guessing along your business, right? I want you to know your business. I really do. Really, really do. So, remember, each contact knows about approximately how many people?
250.
250. And Richard, if you've got 406 contacts, and each one knows roughly 250 people, how many possibilities is that? You got a phone? Let's do a quick math. Somebody do
What
it.
do you need? 10,000?
How many?
What is it?
He's got 406 contacts. Let's say each one of them knows roughly.
101,000.
Whoa. Whoa. Do you see that? You got 100, how much? How much?
1,000.
101,000 opportunities to sell real estate. You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you, for some reason, don't want to bother your database. It would just be awful for me to let them know I'm in real estate. It'd be terrible if I sent them a CMA on their house or what's going on in the marketplace. That's your gold mine, people, is your database. That's where the money is sitting right now. Sitting right there. You got how many?
Me?
Yeah.
On my phone, there's 203 in my contact list.
203 in your contact. Okay? Just want to give you the big picture. There's more possibilities out there than what you're thinking about. Right? So let's talk about, oh, not yet. Let's talk about the lead generation funnel on page 29. There's a lead generation funnel. Know that this funnel really represents it has to be filled up with lots and lots and lots and lots of leads, right? Who have a need in real estate now or somewhere in the future. So your countdown to your payday starts with a lead, which becomes an appointment, which becomes either a buyer or seller with an agreement to work exclusively with you. Next comes a contract, negotiations, an offer, and then finally you service the whole transaction to a successful closing, then you receive your paycheck, and then it's payday. So this is what we're going to go to a lot. Tonight's focus is prospecting for leads all the time. Now, in Ignite, we will together make phone calls for business, and we're going to help each other, and we're going to support each other, and we're going to cheer each other on their own success. So your Ignite faculty is going to ask you to post your results for the entire class, and we'll talk about that and how you're going to do that. So this means you're going to need names and contact information every day you're in class, because you're going to be making calls. And if you think about what if I run out of people to call, we'll explore ways of finding more contacts for you as we progress through time. Okay? Remember, calling for leads is the single most important step in building your business. And you'd really be cheating yourself and your family if you're not prepared to make phone calls, door knocks every day, truly. So a simple formula. Why can some agents make 100 calls a day and others have total fear of the phone? I call it phoneitis, okay? So some agents can make that because they leverage, number one, very powerful scripts. They've got them internalized. They leverage them. They know how to build relationships. This is a relationship business, whether it's a long-term relationship or just a 30-day little honeymoon with them. Asking for business is another reason of the simple formula. You've got to ask for business. You got to. Ask for referrals. And then come from a place of contribution. So it comes back all the way back to your mindset. Helping people, being positive, being excited. And this is the hardest thing I had to learn. Not to get, and this was drummed into me, don't get attached to the outcome. That is the hardest lesson I had to learn. Because if you get emotionally all wrapped up in your client and protecting them or selling them or negotiating on their part, you've lost your perspective. You are no longer effective once you get emotionally involved in the transaction. You've lost it. And believe me, there's a lot of agents out here real emotional when you have conversations with them. And somebody's got to be the parent in the room and very cool and calm. You are dealing with not just your client's life, but the other side of the life and their family and their livelihood and what's going on. It's a very explosive, emotionally charged business. It's not like commercial real estate. It's totally different. So the main thing, you've got to be detached from the outcome. That's where most agents get tripped up. That's where they get themselves legally in trouble. They need to pay a bill. They're behind on their bills. They're in a bad place financially, or they're feeling that pinch from their partner. The thing that you've got to do is not be attached to the outcome. In other words, take it step by step. Don't look at the paycheck. Oh, I'm going to get $16,000 gross income here, $16,200 and some odd dollars. Because what if it falls apart? And there's 98 reasons a deal can fall apart once you've got an offer accepted. If you come from a place of contribution, trying to make it a win-win, and just say, you know what, whatever happens, I know I've done my best. That's the way you got to do it. That was the hardest lesson for me to learn. Because once I became emotionally detached from the outcome, I was a much more effective communicator, much calmer, could think clear. Because when you're stressed, you can't think. When you're emotionally charged, you can't think straight. You can't be creative. You can't find that objectivity or the correct words. So that's just one thing I just want to strum on that, because that's so very hard for some of you, particularly those of you who are very caring, nurturing, and protective. So just don't be attached to the outcome, right? So we're going to talk about 4 habits
Tanya,
Yes, sir.
are there any numbers on conversions? For example, 800 phone calls equals 10 leads, which equals.
There are some numbers out there, but I find out that it really is dependent on each person. There's some basic numbers out there. For every person you talk to, you're going to get a certain lead.
Do you mind telling us what your?
Because you know what? Your experience is going to be different. You got on the phone, did cold calling, and number what? Did you get a lead?
Number 70.
Number 70. Mine, it took me 120 calls.
I understand. The reason why I ask is just so we can figure out, make some goals of how many calls we should be
I
making.
love that question. That's a great question. And how are we going to determine that?
By making calls.
By tracking your numbers. So Jonathan, you come into my office, we talk, you say, Tanya, I'm making 80 calls a day, or I'm having, you can track it multiple ways. I'm making 200 dials a day, and out of 200 dials, I'm talking to 70 people, and out of 70 people, I've got one lead appointment. Now I've got something we can work with, because you've tracked your numbers. If Lori says, every day I go out and I knock on 40 doors, and I found out that on average, out of 40 doors, I can talk to 4 people. So how many people did it take her to talk to before she got a lead, and how many doors did that take? Now I've got something I can help you with. Because now I can look at your numbers and say, oh, we need to twerk this, or we need to change that, or this might not be your lead generation style. So track your numbers. It's going to be different because your skill set is different from everybody else. Some of you practice your scripts, some of you look at it, and some of you are like, I'm not having a piece of it. So if your skill set is high, you're going to get better results. But track your numbers. Track your numbers. For successful business, depends on you having productive business building habits performed every day. So it's essential that you get into these habits right away. And we're going to talk about what your habits are going to be. This is what's going to lead you to great success. This program, if you follow it, and it's not hard, you guys, you're guaranteed 2 pieces of business. When they first rolled this out, I got so busy, my God, it was hard for me to stay in the class. Halfway through, I think I had like 4 to 6 pieces of business. Just getting focused and just doing what the formula tells you to do, right? So your 4 habits that you need to do on page, what? There we go, 31. It's going to be your daily 10-4. Your 4 activities. To grow and manage your database, you're going to add 10 new contacts to your database. So you got to go out and meet people. This is a people business. They're not going to come knocking on your door. Very rarely do I have somebody come here looking for an agent. You're going to speak to 10 people in your database every day, or on your mission days. 10 people in your database. I'm sorry, this is your daily 10-4. What am I talking about? Your daily 10-4. You're going to speak to 10 people in your database, and you're going to write 10 notes. Then weekly, you're going to preview 10 homes in the areas that you're interested in doing your business. Isn't that easy? Anybody see this as a challenge? Do you like real estate?
Yeah.
Do you like talking about it?
Yeah.
Do you like people?
Yeah.
Some people. So you're going to talk to those people. You're going to have conversations about real estate. You're going to go out and find 10 new contacts to add to your database. You're going to write 10 notes. Why do we talk about writing notes? I've had resistance on this. Personal notes. How many of you have ever received a personal note in the mail? A couple of you? Most of you? So when you get a stack of mail, what's the first piece when you open up? Don't you open that personal? You got all your bills and ads. Oh, somebody wrote me a letter or a note. Most of you think sending an email is just fine. Well, if that's your business, you can, but it doesn't stand out, because how many emails do you get a day? How many do you get? You get a lot? You get a lot? What's a lot?
Like 80.
You get like 80 a day? I get over 200 emails a day. So do you think if a personal note shows up on my desk, I'm going to rip that sucker open real fast, right? So personal notes have much more power. That's why we're saying get note cards. Because what does it take? Instead of sitting at your laptop, writing thank you, you literally had to go out, buy a card, take it back wherever, think about what you're going to write, handwrite it out, address it, put a stamp on it, and then take it to the post office. That's a lot more effort than an email, don't you think? So that's why personal notes, we found that to be extremely powerful. When it comes to previewing the homes, this is not looking at it online, going into Sandico. Oh yes, Tanya, I previewed 10 homes. They're all very pretty. I didn't know they were that much. No, this means going inside the homes. You gotta know your product. You gotta know the neighborhoods. So let me make a couple of suggestions with regards to 10 homes. I broke it up 2 a day. It was in my schedule. I'm gonna preview 10 homes. First, I'm gonna lead generate. I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna write my notes. I'm gonna check my emails, and then you can do on your own. 2 a day, right? I highly suggest that you do it in the areas that you're thinking about selling it in. Because if you're going to be selling in Solana Beach, it does you no good to be looking at homes over in Mira Mesa or Scripps Ranch, okay? The other way you could do it is what? How else could you preview 10 homes a week?
Caravan.
A broker's caravan. Do you guys know about that? Some of you don't? You don't know about broker's caravan? Oh, anybody else? You don't know what broker's caravan is? Who would explain a broker's caravan? Who's gone to one? Have you gone to one, Richard?
No, but I just know that a bunch of agents and brokers get together and visit multiple homes. Something is that true?
Well, that's kind of the concept. Who's been to a broker's caravan? Have you been to one, Lori? So which one did you go to? You went to Rancho Bernardo? Held over at St. Bartholomew's Church?
Oh, that's a power one. The RV one is
Where is it?
Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, that's right. They did move to the Boys and Girls Club. I'm sorry. That's right. So they meet once a week. What happens there, Lori?
They just have like a little presentation.
Can you speak up so people can hear you?
They just have a little presentation, and then each agent that has a new home that come out that week, they can pitch about it, and then you can hold it open. So it's basically an open house for agent. So you don't have to schedule. It's all open.
Usually a broker's open is for a house that just came on the market, and it's usually just for agents. Now, some agents, I will take a hot and heavy client along to the broker open. But generally speaking, it's for you to check out the new homes that are on. Some people go individually, some get in a car and go off together. So you can do several homes at the caravan. You can knock it out, but you got to see what day that is. Where did you find out the information, Lori?
You just Google it, or Santa Cora.
Santa Cora.
Or Paragon. Go in tours.
In Paragon under tours.
Is that where? Paragon
Or SDAR under tours, right? And you'll see the broker's tours for all the whole entire county, and what time they have and so forth and so on. So this is your 10-4. So you're going to write, add 10 new contacts to your database every day, speak with 10 people in your database every day, write 10 notes to people you know or have recently connected with every day, and then preview 10 homes and visit them in person each week, right? Any questions about this? This is really developing a really powerful habit for you. Go ahead.
Speak with 10 people means physically speak in person or on the phone, right?
not text.
Right.
There's more power in your words than texting. And texting and emailing can be misconstrued
Yeah.
sometimes. The tone, you can't hear the tone, right? Or the enthusiasm, right? So you're going to grow your database. How are you going to do that? That means you want to add their names, their addresses, phone numbers, any more contact information that you can get. These could be people you know or have just met, people you know peripherally, right? Or you might know them because of somebody else, through somebody else, right? Keep in mind, the size of your database will determine the size of your income. Now, when Dave Haston comes here on Friday, you're going to be amazed at how he works his database. It's real simple. Simple, I like simple. And he makes a ton of money with it, okay? And he's going to tell you his secrets about his database and what he does. And I'm real excited about you guys to do that. Prospect, you want to connect with 10 people in your database. The purpose for the call or conversation is threefold. Let them know you're in the business. Don't be the secret agent. Ask for business and ask them for referrals. Then you're going to follow up with your notes every day. A handwritten little note. You want to include your business card. Who does not have business cards yet? Quite a few of you. Do you have it in the makings? Do you know where to get your business cards?
Yes.
Where are you going?
Lewis House.
Lewis House?
No, not Lewis House. Michael. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Did you get them approved? Make sure you had everything on your business card you're supposed to. Did the rest of you go through that? You went through it, right? There's certain aspects that have to be legally on there. Okay? So if you haven't got your business cards, I suggest you get them real fast, quick, and in a hurry. And you can. Can't they, Kelsey? Where's another place they can get their business cards?
Moo. I love Moo.
Moo?
Yeah.
MOO.com. That's a new one. Thank you. Moo.com.
They're fabulous.
The ones you did for me turned out nice, but I just discovered something.
That was Jeff Wallace, I think. Right? The one you wanted. Did I cut
You
off your
ordered
head?
them for me. But you know what? I just found out my my ID is my number is incorrect. BRE number is
Can't get
incorrect.
fired now, so.
So that means I got to order another 1,500 business cards, 2,000 business cards. Yes. So you want to make sure your business cards go inside, right? If you don't, let that stop you. Just write the note. Get your business cards. This Southern California is really big about business cards, right?
It has Killer Williams templates too that have everything that you need.
Yes? Perfect. You guys got that? Okay, good. So, again, follow up and stick that in there. You know, don't make it, just make it a habit. Great talking with you, nice to meet you, whatever. I still do them for my open houses too. Even though I send them a little video message, I write a personal note as well. Stick my business card in there. Know your market, preview those homes, right? I don't think I have to say any much more about that. It's just a very valuable step that I don't want you guys to skip over it. And it amazes me how many of you don't go into houses and you're supposed to be selling houses, right? You can't sell what you don't know. So let's get on that. Okay, we're going to talk about the success of tracking. So you've learned from the six personal perspectives, the benefit of being accountable, and what a better way to be accountable than to your success than to track your activities and share it with others. So we're going to do, through Ignite, you're going to be tracking and reporting your activities. This is going to help move you forward to a plan. So we've got the daily104.com. You put it right on your phone. Download it. Go ahead. That's www.daily104.com. And you're going to be asked to sign in with your kw.com login. That's your to mykw.kw.com. done? Any problems? Not yet?
Sorry, you want us to log in and then do what?
You want to have this daily tracker available to you because this is where you're going to track your activities.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Is it an app or is it just like?
It's web-based.
It's web-based.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. That way you got it right there in your hand. Okay, did you preview only 8 homes today or did you superstar and did 15? Did you talk to more than 10 people or whatever? So that's basically what it is. The instructions on how to use it are right there, but let me just go over it so that you know what you're going to be doing. So you're going to be basically entering your daily 10-4 right here. Add it to database. See that? Who did you call? Number of calls that you make. How many handwritten notes that you make. How many homes that you preview. Right? Then you just enter it. It's real easy. And it will be generated up every time we come in class. Right? Because I can't help you if someone's falling behind. If I know you fall behind, then I can help you. But I want everybody to be rock star campers, right? So it should be real easy on your phone. Boom, there it is. Anybody have any problems with it? Everybody got it? Yes, Gary?
For a connection, I know some people, will cover like objections and stuff, I'm sure, but if they're genuinely not interested or just don't want to talk, but you connected to them, would that be someone you would still send a note to, or who?
Well, that's a great question. Would you, Edward?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Any other answers? You connected with them. Thanks for the time. It's your business decision if you want to or not. At the end of it, some things are not dry cut and clear. You've got to make that business decision. Is that someone I want to spend a note to? Do I want to put them in E-Edge and just put them on the campaign? How many of you are in E-Edge? Everybody? Well, let me ask this question. How many of you are not in E-Edge? You're not. Okay, so I just got off the phone with Jeff Kell in a meeting with him this morning. He's going to offer a special class for E-Edge on the 12th. So look, that's going to pop up real quick on the training calendar. I don't have the time yet, but he is going to do a special E-Edge class. So if you don't know about it, you need to get in there and you need to start using your E-Edge. Right? Okay. Let's talk about using influencing language. Is there any questions with that? I'm sorry,
Our
yes?
sphere of influence count towards this. If I reach out to 10 of my sphere of influence, that can count my 10 contacts added.
Oh, well,
Okay.
then he means like people he already knows and could reasonably already put in the database. If he just adds them in, does that count as 10 new people?
Well, are they in your database?
Just not, it's not built yet, is what he's saying, but they're people that he could put in.
That's a good question. I certainly would talk to people. I'd start with people I know first. If you want to use that towards your database building, you can. It's your personal decision. Or if you think, oh, I already know them, they should have been in my database already, that's totally up to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Makes sense.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. So let's talk about using influence. Let's talk about influencing sales language. So let's read these phrases out loud. Who would be my first victim? That should be on page 34 or 35. Here we go. Yes. Anybody want to read? Who likes to read? Yes, Justin, go ahead.
Did you find everything you were looking for? Go ahead, look around, and please let me know if I can help you. I see you admiring that large screen TV. Are you looking to have one in your home for the big game this weekend?
You know what? You come to Scripps class. You did good except for that last question. You went up and set it down. The rest of you went down. You did the downward stroke.
Are you supposed to go downward deflection?
Downward stroke on your questions. So for those of you who are not in Scripps class, I'm not going to take the time to explain the power of that. But very good. So recognizing these phrases, well, they're commonly used in sales and service industry, right? So your success really depends on your ability to use real estate language effectively and in an influencing way. So since we're the first business of lead generation, what are we really saying about our job? Okay, let me help you here. Talking to people. Write that in. Talking to people about their real estate needs of people they know. Talking to people about their real estate needs and the needs of people they know. So there's two ways of doing this. Yes, Justin?
At any point, can I just have one more example of the downward inflection thing?
You want one more example?
Yeah, can you do it for me? So I can-
Did you find everything you were looking for?
Okay.
Did you find everything you're looking for? You see the difference?
Yeah, okay.
So the downward, you might have missed that class.
Yeah, I did.
So when you're asking questions, again, in scripts class, we spend a lot of time on techniques. Which sounds more powerful? Is this the house you like? Is this the house you like?
Second one.
Do you want to make an offer? Do you want to make an offer? Which one sounds more commanding?
Second one.
Which one sounds like you're an authority?
Second one.
Would you sign here, please? Sign here, please. That's how I do it. I open it up. Sign here, please.
That's good.
I've done the technique so long, I just do it naturally.
That's great.
So if you say, would you sign here, please? Sounds like, please. Sign here, please. Sounds much more authoritative. You're a leader, right? Come to my script class. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 to 9:30. We have a lot of fun in it. Okay, so talking about two ways of using your influential skill set with your language. You can do it the entrepreneurial way, or you can do it in the entrepreneurial way would be just chatting it up, whoever happens to come in your life or along your path, and then you start talking about real estate, and you're hoping that you just might get a deal out of the conversation. But a purposeful way is knowing exactly what you're going to say, talk to them, block time to communicate with them, be prepared to have great conversations that lead you to providing value in exchange for them helping you grow your business. If I go to a party, I go to a lot of parties, or social events, I always make a purposeful, you know what, I'll say, I'm talking to 4 people today at this event about real estate. And I'm going to walk away with 1 lead. That's going into a social setting. Purposeful. I can still have a good time, right? I like to have fun. So if I'm going to go anywhere, I'm very purposeful about how I'm going to approach it. You'll see such a change in your life, real positive change. So know what you want to say. Scripts are very cool. What's the purpose of scripts? What are the benefits of scripts?
Keeps you from getting off topic, being a way to get back to what you want in the end.
It's knowing what to say, how to say it, and influencing others to agree with you when you master it, right? And you're absolutely correct, Nathan. It keeps you on track. Totally. So in order to get the results we want, we've got to do a little changing up with our language, right? So a great script, as it has in your book, is 100% customer-oriented, the benefits of the customer throughout the entire conversation. Often you've heard me say in our scripts class, you're not allowed to use me or I in the conversation at all. It's about them. I never say anything about I, me. It's not about me, it's about them. And a lot of agents try and cozy up to the client. Oh, I'm like that too, or I have that same thing too. You want to be purposeful, you want to know what to say. You want to be in charge, you want to be a leader, right? So know your scripts. You want to communicate. Communication isn't really about what you think you're saying, it's really helping you to actually hear. If you know what to say, you can concentrate on what the person is conveying to you. So scripts allow you to do that, to deliver a very powerful message so that it's understood, and it helps you to ask very powerful questions, right? So scripts will move you from E to P real fast. And those of you who know about that, hey, It's a great thing. Let's talk about learning scripts. Learning scripts, you want to internalize the scripts so they become your own. They sound natural. They sound friendly. So you begin by memorizing them. So in your page on your book, it talks about what it takes to practice. Learning scripts will make things happen in my life. Let's all stand up and say that 3 times. You guys need a little energy. I feel it sagging. Okay, you've got this thing in front of you. Learning scripts will make great things happen in my life. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Learning scripts will make great things happen in my life. Oh, that was so freaking sweet. There's almost 30 of you in here. I want them to hear you out in the hallway. Come on now. 1, 2, 3. Learning scripts will make great things happen in my life. I think we can do even better than that. Let's have them in the outer offices hear us. 1, 2, 3. Learning scripts will make great things happen in my life. You're absolutely right. Take a seat. Thank you very much. I want each one of you, if you don't have a script partner, start getting a script partner. That is your accountability. The ideal thing is to have, I'd have Gary on Monday, Nathan on Tuesday, and I'd have Miss Lori on Wednesday. I'd have Rebecca on Thursday. I'd finish up with Edward on Friday. 15 minutes a day. That's your investment in you. So I'm going to encourage you as a group to do that, to get together, incorporate into your daily routine. Who's your partner? Look around, take a look. Now, memorizing, there's 6 things on page 39. Yeah, talks about memorizing your ways to memorize. There are techniques to memorizing your scripts. I'm not going to go through all these, but you can read the first sentence of the script out loud 5 times. Then you repeat the same sentence 5 more times. Gives you instructions right here. The main thing, practice out loud and don't read your scripts. You've got to practice them vocally, right? This gives you all the steps on how to internalize your scripts. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to internalize, really, quite honestly. So don't feel rushed. I'd rather you master the scripts, right? So we're going to get real comfortable, and I'm going to show you on page 42 or 3? 3? You'll have scripts. What page is that? 43. Here's your scripts, all written out for you. You've got a script, new to real estate. You've got another script, or you can continue. I'm new to Keller Williams. It shows you the rest of the script, and if you flip it over, reminding people, hey, you know what? I just wanted to remind you I'm in real estate. Or you're new to the area, right? So you got several different scripts, right? So what we're going to do, right at this moment, we're going to make phone calls. You're going to use your scripts, and you're going to start calling. We're going to start our good habit calling right now. What a great time to call, 3 o'clock. This is a great time to call people. So we're going to give, how much time am I going to give you for this? Let me see. What do they say? Okay. They say we should do it for about, we'll do it till 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going to do it till 3:25, and then we're going to report in. Sound fair? I hear crickets out there. Huh?
All in the same room?
You can do it in the room. Normally, they want you to do a room. There are 30 of you in here, and here's the deal. I'm going to tell you, you got to be back here at 3:25, right? If you're in the middle of a conversation, wrap it up. I prefer you do it in here, but since there's so many in here, there might be a little extra buzz going on. So let's get it rolling with that.
These are database calls, right now.
I don't care who you call. Just get on the phone and call Justin and let them know you're looking for business, right? Let's not complicate life. Let's make it fun. It's simple. Yeah. You got a script? Let's go. Okay, be back here, you guys. 3:25. If you're leaving.
I wouldn't let them leave, Tanya.
I normally don't, but I'm gonna give it a try this time and see how they do. If they don't, we'll close down the doors. They'll have to do it. Yeah. I'm talking to your friend. Hey, well, they can report in. They're gonna have to report in after the bell. We need a company referral. How many leave? Get you that bell.
We're gonna start?
Where are you with your licensing? You have to have
You need to do something else.
I don't have, just use your script right here, and then send me afterwards and tell me your license or not. Just avoid that conversation. Come on, people, let's move it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get in trouble. This is my she is fierce. Good, how are you? Yeah?
Erin's in the restroom.
Oh, she's here.
Yeah, she's here. Okay, good.
I'm sorry, no conversation?
Oh,
You're right,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. They're on the phone, thank you. Let's try this one.
Know anybody?
我要打电话。对啊。啊？对啊，我不能要打给谁。我也不知道打给谁，而且他那个 script 跟中国人，你要跟着说这个人，马上就把你给挂了。对呀，莫名其妙。啊？他听得懂啊？对啊。所以 Chinese or Mandarin？
中国人。
打给谁呀？
啊？
我打给谁？
这个对我们应该不适用。
对，我觉得中国人听到你说这个，我死了我都打你。
然后我看你也在那个群里面嘛。
哪个？啊，那个经理群。
把那些人联合起来做一个中文版。
对，我觉得这个完全不适合中国人。那
好多那个 script 你不能跟中国人，中国人说马上把这个门摔在你脸上。你要是那个 contact，你要是认识有外国人还行，打给外国人，打给老美。
你在这里有多久了？你在这里有多久了？
我7月份。
7月份刚转过来的。你是从别的地方转过来吗？还是？我是5月份吧，但是我没怎么来。我是新的，我是新移民，也是新的。
我也是，我刚来3年，我都不认识，也不认识。I don't know where to call. I don't know. I just moved to San Diego. There's not a lot of friends, and I see them all the time. They all know I'm a realtor. This is I don't know. There's no like a long time friend. I haven't called or anything. I just called my daughter. Call who? I just called my daughter. Right now.
We have calls. 那你才来1年没几个月，你就开始做那个菠萝蜜。
哦，菠萝蜜，
因为我看到你的传单在我看。
哦，你看到哦，你家是住那个区吗？
贴墙那个地方。
Mina,
哦
this is Ada. Would you please give me a
你是哪
call?
个？
就走到第2天。
哦，你当
你
时在家？
周6在那儿做那个，我不在，我后来回去我打开门，才到的。
对呀，我有喝多了。
我看你做宣传单了。行吧，快点吧。
他让你做什么都做呗。
谁让你做？
他让你说你要好好的做到天我去做。
我还没怎么做，我基本上。
但我觉得这个跟中国人是，这就是老外人。
老外可能也不会选择做。
对，所以。
应该人还也不少吧。
来这种。
从中国过来3个月。刚来3个
那你应该有一些。
中国同样。
像他们也应该有那种药。
今天后来我在那边看了，反正看中的不多。我基本上都是我朋友，不是就是不是熟的人，基本上都是。我没有做什么宣传，本来也就刚开始。因为我还有其他的事情，所以我是慢慢。现在学。
我是 Ada，就是你跟你讲的电话。
我看到过。
如果说你有。
我是想来试一下这个。我感觉我要2个国际，大家很多东西给我吃。但你做这个生意，你也要看人家教你的英语，否则的话，给你看那个。
With some really exciting, unique trends in the area, and so we can chat a few minutes. Yes, 5 homes, right? If you trade a few minutes, give me a call on this number, 818-481-2514. That's 818-481-2514. And again, this is Gary Cologne and Keller Williams. Thanks. Bye. Michael. This is Gary Colon at Keller Williams Realty. I hope you're doing a great day. I wanted to connect with you to share some exciting news. I just recently moved to Rancho Bernardo. There's some unique trends in the area. I definitely wanted to share, have a few moments for homeowners. My number here is 818-481-2514. That's 818-481-2514. Hope to talk with you soon, Michael. Bye. Hey Matthew, Gary Colon with Keller Williams Realty. I hope you're having a great day. Just moved into the area. I want to share some exciting news and trends with you for current homeowners in Rancho Bernardo. If you get a chance, please give me a call, 818-481-2514. Again, that's 818-481-2514. Thanks, Matthew, and have a great day.
I also have to mention about these. So I my license, so I took the exam last week. And I have the license coming right now. I don't have it yet, so I don't have my number or anything.
You can't access
So I can't
it.
access any of this. So
All right, okay, that's understandable.
no, it's just yeah, I'll try to catch up. If I get lost, that's fine.
Are you doing this full time?
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine.
You know when it's coming?
Well, they said 5 to 10 business days, and And then, but it's Labor Day weekend. I called and said they had sent it on Friday. So it's like, great, sent it right as the weekend started. So it probably didn't even get anywhere until today or yesterday.
Possibly. In the meantime, another suggestion. Do you know anybody with that?
I could watch it. And Gary,
Yeah, you know Gary?
Gary, Richard, and Jonathan. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you let them plug in so that since you can't access that, you guys watch it as a group?
Yeah.
Why not do that right after class?
Okay.
You can see the video.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Did anything,
Is it?
Still waiting
Let me
for
just
you
do one
guys?
more call.
No, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm absolutely down to share any videos or if you need.
Any leave?
Yeah, it's like this.
Really? Oh, you're doing the KW videos?
It's a cool.
Do you know anybody else on Margaret Center? Just personally or friendly with or chit-chatty with?
Jonathan,
Hi, Julie.
Scott, Nick.
You know them?
Yeah.
So let them know you can't access these videos and they'll open up it. And maybe like after class, maybe you guys could watch the videos. Because he's in the same situation. He's waiting for his license. So I'll bring that up.
Okay.
That maybe you guys could just have a little.
I'm just a local realtor here in wanted to share some exciting trends.
exactly. Totally agree with that. Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
So I should wrap up your conversation.
Miss you, and we'll get together soon, okay?
That's been so helpful.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'll just send you a bunch of text. Okay. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
They gave it to me.
I'll do my due for you. I mean, I'm a local
I like them.
Southern California realtor. I don't know if you also are interested in selling your home.
Huh? Thank you. House of Magnets.
Like this. From House of Magnets? No, it's,
Okay, are we at local spectrum?
Awesome. Well, I'm sure it's nice now.
House of
Just get
Magnets.
invested that. Well, I do appreciate your time today.
Our bad.
So I'll try to update this for you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go around real quick. Everett, how many
Yes,
conversations did you have?
I had 2 conversations.
You had 2 conversations. Did you get any leads?
No, they're on one's on the East Coast, and the other one I spoke to was a previous at one of my open houses.
Okay. On the East Coast, what did you do?
Because I have so many back there, many people then vacation out here, and when they come out here, I'm their connection to buy a piece of property.
Okay. The other thing is you can refer them to an agent in that area where they live and get a 25-30% referral fee. Don't forget all your opportunities. So no appointments. Okay, Anna, did you talk to Ada? You don't have your license yet. Lori, how many conversations? 1 conversation. How many leads?
0.
Okay. How many people did you talk to, Nathan? You don't have your license yet.
But
3?
Still talk to 3, then 1 because it's in 6 months. I was like, it's fine.
You got 1 lead.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, a lead is a lead. So his lead is somebody, a friend of his, has got a baby on the way. They won't be ready until April. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Okay. And then I've got my Gary. How many conversations?
1.
1. How many leads? How many leads, Gary?
7.
You have 1 conversation with 7 leads? How many conversations did you have today?
1 conversation.
And out of that 1 conversation, did it turn into a lead?
No.
It did not?
No.
Okay. Next person. Moijan. I can't say your name today. How many conversations?
24.
How many leads?
None.
Okay.
I have 3.
You have 3 conversations? How many leads? No leads? Okay. Michaela, how many conversations?
1.
How many leads?
No leads.
Justin,
3 and 1, but I think the 1 is fake.
3 conversations? And you think you got 1 fake lead?
Yeah.
How are you gonna find out if it's fake or not?
Well, I'll send the email a message. It's funnyhotmom@gmail.com, so we'll find out.
That also unlimited number.
Okay,
I heard him say it as he wrote it.
okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I
You can
got.
only go with what you got.
That's what I got, yeah. And I got a phone number too, but,
You did get a phone number?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Rebecca, how many conversations?
One.
One conversation. How many leads?
No.
No leads. In 20 minutes, one conversation. That's too long a conversation.
I don't know who to call because all my friends is in Canada, and I just.
Oh, there's a lot of people from Canada down here.
I call.
Who do you know that's moving down to San Diego? There's your conversation. Or are you thinking about moving to Canada? Because guess what? Health whims exist all over Canada. I can refer you a really good agent. You're missing opportunities. Briella, how many conversations? Two.
No solid leads, but I asked for referrals,
Uh-huh, good.
and he asked for me to refer businesses.
One hand washes the other. So do you think you got one lead out of it?
I will keep following up. Yes.
Would you consider him lead or not?
Not
Not at this point. Okay. Miss Kelsey, how many conversations?
Two. My situation's weird. I got 3 leads out of one conversation, and they're all from my hometown in Washington, and I called to see about reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of referring them, it's like a 2-week process for me to actually become licensed and just get the commission there. So
Okay.
that was what I figured out.
All right. You go, Miss Thing. Okay, and then I'm sorry, you are Erin? How many conversations?
I just couple,
Huh?
a couple, two.
Two. How many leads? That's a long thought on the lead. How many leads?
I didn't get it out.
Okay, Chris.
I put 2 calls in, but no solid.
Okay. Richard?
I talked to people and got both of them to say send them more information, so I'd say 2.
You got 2 leads. 2 conversations. Awesome.
2 phone calls and 2 email addresses.
Awesome. You got that too?
I got their email address. I didn't know this was trying to get appointments, so I didn't go push that.
You only have 25
Yeah.
Learning to be a realtor. Okay. Scott, how many conversations?
3,
3. How many leads?
0.
0. And you, Justin, how many conversations?
You interchange us a lot.
Huh? I'm sorry.
Switch us a lot.
I do all the time. I'm dyslexic. Jonathan, how many conversations?
No, I'm kidding. 19 phone calls, 4 conversations. None of them are leads.
Okay. And for you, James?
One conversation.
1 conversation, no leads. So you can see in, what do we have, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, you only had 2 conversations. You should have had more than that. 1 conversation showed no more than 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the max. Why? Time is money. Money's time. This is a numbers game, people. If you're spending a lot of time on the phone with them, you're wasting valuable time. You could be talking to the next person who might know somebody who wants to sell a home. I'm trying to get you to think as business owners, right? We get paid on our time, right? Our experience, our expertise. So you're going to be doing this every day, and you're going to be putting your thing, tracking your activities, right, in your daily 10-4 web thing, right? Okay.
Can I put the 4 that I talked to on my daily 10-4, even though they're not leads?
Hmm?
Can I put the 4 that I talked to on my 10-4
What does your 10-4 ask you?
for new contacts?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, are they going in your database?
Probably not.
Then they're not going to be, well, you had the conversation though.
I had a full conversation. Yeah.
Okay, so you just couldn't add them to your database. Is that what you're saying?
They're not interested. That's
You're not interested. Okay, take a personal note card. I've got them here for you. You will bring your own in. How many do you have to follow up with? There's envelopes that go with that. So as you take, you're going to follow up. Don't take them if you're not going to write in them. That's money. I'm investing in you, right? So take a note card and take a moment to write down your thoughts. While that's going around, I'm going to do something else here, and we're going to talk about. I'll get to the video in a minute, if I can. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. But we're going to move ahead in your books because we're running out of time. We're going to talk about a few things. Skill 4, be accountable to your big why and monetary goals. Let's see if I can do that. Prioritizing your tasks. Accountability feedback loop. So earlier when we were talking about the 6 personal perspectives, we learned that accountability is a tool for changing results in your life in those areas that matter the most. What is your top 20%? And we also talk about goal achievement as a direct result of your accountability. So in order to support your goal setting, you must follow an action plan. So during this course, you'll have an action plan that will outline all the specific actions that we'll take to achieve your goals, create a calendar that helps you block your time, and specific activities. And then number 2, we're going to select accountability partner or program to help you measure, evaluate, and make adjustments to your action plan. Find your partners now. Now, 2 minutes. Let's not be shy. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people. You're in the business of people. Let's gather. Let's talk. Who's going to get your partner?
It's close enough. Someone who has a job.
All right, you got your accountability partner. Who is missing? Who doesn't have a partner? You don't? I'm putting the 2 of you together. Pass cards. Yeah, you don't have your business card? Okay. You guys gotta be keeping each other accountable. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Shh. Okay. You have accountability partners, right? You're here to support each other. That's your only goal. And when we talk about your accountability partner, there's a couple of things in your book that talks about being a good accountability partner and what does that look like for you. And I would say that's probably on page 58 or 59 in your book, who will hold you accountable, right? I want you to just basically go over this. And if you flip the page, Partners in Success, what are the rules for accountability partners on the next page, right? There you go. Now you don't have to keep just one accountability partner. You can have 3, 4, or 5. It's totally up to you, okay? I have accountability partners for all kinds of stuff. So make sure that you hold each other accountable. Okay, supporting each other, right? You're going to be reporting in, seeing how you're doing, checking in on each other. And then when we get to page about 49, I think, or 40, it says skill 4, your accountability for your big why and monetary goals. We already talked about this. Your action plan. You want to make a list. You want to prune it. You want to prioritize it, right? So you're going to need to make a list. How many of you make lists? Oh, a lot of you do. Are you like me? Do you make a list and then you do something and then you add it to the list just so you can check it off?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
I think I'm so weird and funny for doing that. But you've got to prioritize your list. And sometimes you find in real estate, what you prioritize, maybe your planning time is before you go to bed, or maybe it's first thing in the morning. For me, it's first thing in the morning. When I'm planning the day, by the time I get to the office, by about 8:30, my priorities have changed. But lead generation always remains number 1. That's safer time. Nobody's going to interrupt with that, right? So when you look about your activities, I think it's on page, was it 4950 that we're looking at right now? Be accountable, prioritize your tasks, about page 50. Is it your important 20%? You see that little graph? Return a call to a person inquiring about a listing. Well, I'd say it's pretty darn urgent. I'd say that'd be in my top 20%. Scheduling a training class on contracts. Well, I'd say that's in my top 20% because if I don't know contracts, I can't interpret them or help my clients understand them, nor do I know how to write one. So that'd be in my top 20%. My daily 10-4, that's an important part of your top 10, your top 20%. Why? It's urgent. Why? You're going to get business by doing your top 10-20. I mean your 10-4, right? Your daily 10-4. Ordering new business cards. Notice there's no check mark right there because you don't need business cards to do business, see it. Not urgent, but you want to get it eventually. Put marketing materials together for a meeting with a seller next week. Well, I'd say that's pretty in my top 20%. Update my Facebook. No check marks there. I don't know. There's not a lot of agents that do a lot of business off of Facebook, quite honestly. Some have it mastered to a great skill. And I'm not discouraging from reaching out on your Facebook and all your other social media impacts, but just know it's not a real high priority. Right? Pick up dry cleaning before they close. Is it urgent? Well, on this case, this scenario, it is urgent, right? Lead generate, absolutely. Top 20% and it's urgent. So when you prioritize your activities, when you look over, list 10 tasks that you need to complete. Lead generation is already listed for you. Isn't that convenient, right? And then you need to rate each important and its urgency. I do this all the time. I use almost the same exact thing. How important, how urgent is it? Can it wait till tomorrow? Right? So you should be able to do quite a bit like that. Living by a calendar. I can't stress enough about how important it is for you to time block, or as I like to call it, time management. Managing your time. If you do not plan your day will plan you. Simply said. Think about it. How many of you had jobs before you came here? Almost all of you, right? Did you have to be at work at a certain time? So why aren't you showing up for work for yourself? This is your business. You'll show up for somebody else and make somebody else money, but you won't show up for yourself to make yourself money? This is a really easy business. Let me put it this way. It can have its challenges, but really, you don't need a PhD. You really don't. You don't need a master's degree. I don't even think you need a bachelor's degree anymore, do you? To get a license? When I was, you had to have a bachelor's degree or some college education, or you couldn't even apply. So the standards have come down lower, and unfortunately with that, standards of the business have come down lower. But that's why we were trying to make you as business owners, you guys are going to raise up other agents and educate them. So let's talk about living by a calendar. So if you look, you got to protect your time. There's no skipping, and you cannot allow interruptions. So many times I hear agents say, well, I can't go to this training because my kids are doing such and such. Well, could you have done that on a regular job? That's my question. Yet you're willing to put in the time to help somebody else get rich, but you won't put in the time to make yourself rich. Odd. Questionable. Why would you do that? Right? So here's the schedule. Gary Keller always talks about, it's not about selling real estate, it's about sticking to a schedule, really. And this they have for you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They kind of gave you a little personal suggestion here. They're doing their Ignite sessions in the morning from 9 to 11. You see that? And this just gives you a nice little kind of like what I do, only I do it even more detailed. But you got to block your time. You got to block your time. We have a lot of friendly agents in here that will step up and want to have a conversation. Do not get distracted. Let them know you're in the zone. I'm in the zone. I'm sorry. I'm concentrating. People see with a certain face, oh, she's in the zone. I'm very focused. You've seen a lot of agents, top agents, they walk by and they don't even know you're there. They're in the zone. So get laser focused, people, and make sure you do a good schedule for yourself. If you turn the page, you'll see during Ignite some more. They even have a Saturday schedule. Isn't that really cool? That gives you a nice little, that's a nice little schedule. Visit open houses, preview homes, lead generate, lead co-op. So there you go. You want to live by your calendar. Post Ignite, they even give you a calendar. If you look on page, I think it's about 59, there's a Post Ignite after you finish, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to jump. First of all, let me ask, with the scripts, did anybody use the scripts when they were calling? I heard you use those scripts. They did not sound canned. That was the first time you read it, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Who else used scripts? You did? You did?
I used that.
You used it?
I thought it was super long, honestly. The one that you just gave us, or the one that, you know.
Uh-huh.
It felt really long.
It felt
Am I the
long?
only one that felt that?
I
know,
yeah.
I thought it was really, really wordy.
You thought you were wordy?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody not use the scripts? You didn't.
Well, we used the call script for
All scripts, yeah.
Okay. As long as you're using a script, I don't care. I really don't. Using a script, people, these are using neuro-linguistic programming. So use them. There's a science to it. You might think it's long because you're not used to talking that way.
That's true.
You're now a real estate professional. You got to talk a little bit more differently, more purposefully, right?
Yes.
Because if you're already making 2 phone calls in 20 minutes, did I give you? That's too long a conversation. You really should have had about 4 or 5 conversations within that time, or not more. So think about your time. Think about being very purposeful. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to finish out your notes. Write your notes, and remember, make a list, your personal notes, excuse me, the ones I passed out to you. Take 2 minutes. I'll take the rest of them. Unless somebody needs more. Does anybody need more?
Do we write those leads we got?
Huh?
To the leads we got, or to the?
What was that? What have we been talking about since 1 o'clock? Who are you guys going to write your notes to? Can somebody help the people in the back room? Who are you writing them to?
You?
Somebody talked to you today, right? Hello, people. Okay, I'm going to move this group up front and this group in the back because you guys are snoozing back here. That's what we talked about, right? I spent 2 minutes talking about personal notes, right? Anybody else need personal notes? I've been doing that today. This is not chitter chatter time. Let's write our notes.
So next series, should I write it down?
It's up to you. It's nice chatting with you and keep me in mind for the list. I appreciate it. We will interest in your referral. How about that? You keep forgetting, you gotta go past the front line and ask for referrals, right? Take your little trust. You like this? You finish writing your notes? Make them simple, short and sweet. Okay, if you'll turn to page 63 for me. 63. We've got an agreement of expectations. And what I'd like to do is have you go down the line and read the each one of these. You're going to initial each one, and then you're going to sign. Can we do a round robin with reading the bullet points? Could we do that?
Sure.
Gary, would you start, and then we'll go around this way, and we'll just snake around this way. How about that? We'll just do it that way. No, I think, what are you going to commit to?
I commit to attending all Ignite sessions.
Okay, initial. Next person.
I commit to adding to my database 200 or more names and contact information as quickly as possible within 30 days of this dated agreement.
Initial.
I commit to lead generating, speaking with people about real estate every day.
Initial, please.
I commit to making business calls during Ignite classes.
Could you read the next?
I commit to complete my mission for each power session for Ignite.
Great. Initial, and then for you? I can't see your name tag. Uh-huh.
Okay. I commit to being prepared for my customers by memorizing using scripts and sales language.
Okay, go ahead, initial. Next.
Okay. I commit to working on my 6 personal perspectives.
Initial. Next. Okay, well,
I commit to following a time-blocked calendar of activities throughout Ignite.
awesome.
I understand that I am developing success habits. By agreeing to this covenant, I agree to take control of my own business success.
Wonderful.
I have discussed the commitment of this covenant with those in my life who will be affected, and they understand and have agreed to support me.
Awesome. Go ahead and sign your name as Capper Training. Put down today's date. Once you've done that, pass it to your ends here. Go ahead and pass it to the end. And then you guys are my table captains, and what you're going to do is you're going to pass it back, and pass it back to right here. And then Scott and Richard will collect them all and then give it to me at the end of class. That work? Got it? Okay, when we turn the page, there's a family significant other agreement where your loved one has chosen to build, where your loved one has chosen to build a business in real estate. This can provide your family an opportunity to build wealth and live the life you want to live. Basically here is informing your family member what you're involved in. It could be a loved one. It could be what I call an energetic family member. You're not blood, but you feel like family, right? Somebody you love, somebody you respect. Basically, they're going to hold you accountable. So what you want to do is have them fill this out, bring it to next class, right? Whoever that significant person is. So make sure you earmark this or pull it out or whatever you're doing for your assignments. Make sure, and I want to see these next Friday, okay? All right. Let's talk, and I'm going to show you the video at the very end. I just chose what to do so simply by the class. Preparing for your next class. That should be on page 67. Thank you. Would you start off and read that? What do you have to do for next class? Would you read that? Yes, please. Nice and loud.
Polish up your big why statement and post where you can see it while you make your calls, or put it on your smartphone as your background.
That's real important, you guys. You got to know what your big why is. Put it somewhere. Sometimes, some of you guys do vision boards?
Mhm.
Have you done that? They're very effective. You guys, some of you don't know what I'm talking about? That's okay. I'll probably do a vision board or something or other before the end of the year. Okay, the next task that you guys have to do. What are we looking at? Moshan, would you read that for me?
Complete your daily 10 for activities.
And how are we going to do? How are we going to track that? Go to www.daily104.com, right? Just go ahead and plug it in, and we will show that at each time you come in, right? Don't make up numbers, people. This is for your own. If you're struggling, then that's for me to call in and SOS try and help you, right? Be honest with yourself. Okay, next one.
Start tracking your daily activities, or start tracking your activities daily in my tracker.
Okay, next one.
Create your time block calendar.
Yes, that's real important. Create your time block calendar. What else do you have to do?
Schedule a regular accountability time with your partner in success.
I'm sorry, say that again, Rebecca?
Schedule a regular accountability time with your partner in success.
There you go. Schedule a regular time. I would suggest a few minutes maybe before your Ignite class. What a great time. You guys are going to be here anyway. So schedule that time to meet. Or if you prefer, after the class. Okay, next. Someone else read, please.
Schedule time daily for script practice with a partner.
Ooh, that's key. Real key. Okay? Someone else read for me?
Practice the hard statements and questions as a therapist. Get back to schools.
Yes, absolutely. Next one.
Prepare for the next class. Download the pre-work mission and complete it.
There you go. Scott?
Complete any mission that was unfinished before the session.
Great.
Discuss with your family the obligations you've committed to for the next several months.
Certainly do, and what I have them do that family agreement if you have family, or if you don't have family like me, I don't have family here, find somebody significant, okay?
Where do we download the pre-work mission?
Huh?
Where do we download the pre-work mission?
mykw.kw.com, in the search bar, Ignite, students, and then you'll see student resources.
Okay.
Yes. Did we have some more on the to-do list?
No,
That was it, right?
that's the last one.
That was the last one. Let's recall and remember real quick. On the next page, it should be. You have questions in there. What are the 4 skills you learned today?
Yeah.
Anybody care to answer? What's one of the 4 skills?
Accountability.
Accountability. You get a star on your forehead. Woo-hoo! Who else? What else did we learn today? What are the 4 skills you learned today? Huh?
Weekend?
That's not quite a skill. Mindset. Who said that? You get a star on your forehead. So we got mindset, goal setting. What are 2 other skills that you learned today? Or learned about?
Was goal setting one of them?
Huh? Goal setting. Bam, bam, boom. Somebody paying attention in the front row. There's one more that you learned about. Hey, you can get a big old fat star. Good girl. Okay, what are the 6 personal perspectives? Commit to self. Commit to self-mastery. Okay, write that down. Commit to self-mastery. Another of the 6 personal perspectives is what? Yes, move from the E to the P. Move from the E to the P. Move, what's the E stand for?
Entrepreneurial.
To being purposeful. Right, there you go. Excellent. What's another perspective?
Scott actually said 80-20.
The 80-20 principle. What else? What is another perspective? Everybody's flipping their pages. Huh? Huh? How about be accountable? Accountability, be accountable. Make yourself a learning-based foundation. Make learning the base, make learning base the foundation of your action plan, right? And what are your daily 10 fours? You're going to add how many to your database every day? 10 what?
Contacts.
10 contacts. You're going to call 10 contacts where? In your, how often? Daily. Boy, it's getting weak in here. Where'd all that energy go? Okay? You're going to write how many notes every day? 10. You're going to preview how many homes a week? 10. Are we going to have fun?
Yes.
You betcha. So the one thing I'm focusing on, question, what is the one thing focusing question? Well, let me fill that in for you. What is the one thing? What's the one thing? What's the one thing? I can do such that by doing it. Who talks like that? I can do such that by. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary, right? How many leads will you have in your KWE Edge database by the end of Ignite? You know?
1,000.
The minimum 200. And why are scripts important to you? They're words that work, right? Why wouldn't you use them? Right? Okay, we went just a smidgen over, but we are going to do the video. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? No questions?
Call 10 contacts. Database. And talk to that. It's the right
Am I going?
Tanya,
Yes.
is there a place you can buy these notes in bulk?
Notes?
Yeah, these notes. Did you guys?
Oh, you like those?
Yeah.
I got it through a coaching program. Why is this playing?
Peanut Brothers?
Yeah, but yeah.
The dog. Is that not much store or which store?
Okay, technical difficulty. I want to show you this.
You need help?
There you go.
Try reloading it?
I can try. Do you want me to pass the mouse?
Come on over here. I want to show because we're right at time. Okay. Cheers, that's what I want to show. Maybe show this.
Try it on a different browser. Yeah, Internet Explorer.
I didn't have trouble earlier today.
With the same
Let's try it, yeah, Firefox.
Maybe we'll have
Okay, fine. Okay. Go back. Erase it out. Put it in.
to just yeah.
Okay. Let me down, password. Okay. Log me in. So Ada, pay attention. This is how you get there, okay? Okay, there we go. Let's see if that works. Weird.
Yeah, it just looks like the computer probably needs to be reset.
This is all about scripts.
What's the name of the video?
How to use scripts. No. It was fine earlier. I guess we can't do that. Summer? Yeah, the internet's not the best. No, I don't want you to. So my apologies. You can probably look it up in mykw.kw.com. Go over education, drop down menu, says KW Connect, go in there. In the search bar, where they have a little magnifying spyglass, put in Ignite. You'll see a lot of resources, or you can go under videos and how to use scripts. It's probably right in there for you. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Do I need a license?
Yeah, you do need your license to, get into that. So let me ask a question. There's a couple of you that don't have your license, right? Nathan, you don't? You don't? Anybody else? Is anyone willing to allow them, because they can't get into KW Connect. After classes, anybody have their laptop, they'd be willing to go in and let these two souls look at the assignments, the videos? Anybody willing to do that? You do that. Thank you. Are you going to stay right here and do it? That'd be awesome. So, and then for those of you who might want to get a kickstart, you might want to just go ahead and watch it too. But anyway,
I have 20 minutes.
you got 20 minutes? Okay, great. Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell them about the database class?
Did we get a time?
I think your time is 11, but I don't know if we have a name for it yet.
Okay, so on September 12th, 11 o'clock, Jeff Kell's going to be in here specifically working for your e-edge database, setting that up and all the campaigns.
How it works with the KW app as well.
And how it does work, thank you, and how it ties into your KW app. Do all of you have the KW app? You should be passing it out one a day, right? We have the 66-day challenge. So once a day, there's another thing of value, right? So make a note of it. If you don't have your database set up in e-edge, it's really important that you do. It's going to make your life a lot easier and lead you to success. So that is the 12th. That's a Tuesday.
I'll send out an email once we have the finalized details. Just added today.
Just add it. We just had the meeting about it this morning. So just so you know. And do they need to make an appointment when that comes up? Just show up? Okay. Any other questions? Well, it's great having you guys. Go out and have fun.